Welcome to The Point. I am your host, Eric Mitchell. We got a good one for you today. I'm sure you've seen it in the news back in October 2020. You heard about this militia in Michigan that had plans to kidnap the governor of Michigan, not Wisconsin, very similar, not the same place, of Michigan. Now, as we all know, the president went, taunted, said he didn't see the big deal, but these folks wanted to murder, that's right, kidnap and murder her after they tortured her, other despicable things. So off of that, it made me think of militias, because militias in America have been a part of our history forever. Well, basically since America started, when we think of militias in America, we think of amped up white dudes that are really uncomfortable around anybody that's not white, usually strung out on some sort of meth, probably almost joined the military. That guy who comes up to you and goes, I was going to be a Marine, but when we think of our militias, most of us think of third world countries, Syria, Afghanistan, Bolivia, Colombia, where people need to be armed because, well, they're in a third world country. But here in America, it's been for hundreds of years ago, we came up militias, and those were built to fight tyranny. See, we were fighting King George and the English, and we needed an organized militia, which actually answered to the government. So when the government called you, and you joined the militia, and see, militias, long story short, well, states wanted to form it, so what they did is they organized. So they became organized militias, and organized militias became what we now regard as the National Guard. Organized militias, and those came together under, yes, the Dick Law. Yes, there's actually a law, and it's called the Dick Law. Can I have your attention? I know you're all giggling off of the fact that there's a law named the Dick Law. Well, the Dick Law organized and made organized militias part of the National Guard. That leaves us with the unorganized militias, which basically faded away. Now, over the last few years, they've come back. And right, these new militias, it's kind of like wiping your ass with a leaf. It makes no sense at all, and you're really just doing it for no reason. It doesn't make sense. Remember, when we had these militias before, Canada was a threat to us. We were like, oh crap, the Canadians are going to come and take our bacon, and God knows what they'll call it. They'll probably call it meat strips, since they call Canadian... Obviously, I just failed that joke. No one laughed at my joke. I feel the non-laughter. It's okay. It's okay not to laugh at my jokes. I totally get it. But, Melissa's probably disappeared, but militias disappeared for several years. And then they came back, and you probably remember over the last few decades, Ruby Ridge, Waco, and now back in October, this quack job. And then just recently, our good friends over at military.com or Stars and Stripes with their podcast by Rod Rodriguez, who you've seen on our show, they highlighted the craziness of some of these other militias that were former veterans and a porn star that wanted to kill someone else. Swear to God, where do they find these people? It's like a bad episode of Cops. Now, here's the funny thing. A lot of these folks, when they're asked, in militias, you're asking, well, when did militia start? Is probably the question you're asking yourself right now. And I can tell you when they started coming back. They rose during Ruby Ridge. They went away during the Oklahoma City bombing, if we remember that, back in 1996. And then they came back at the same time as, President Obama was elected. When he came back, we saw over an 800% rise in militias in America during Obama's 2 terms. And they spread these crazy ass rumors. 1, he wouldn't leave office. 2, that he was a socialist and a diehard fundamentalist Muslim. He was also a communist and also wasn't born in Hawaii, said the person who's currently residing and leaving in less than 41 days. Donald Trump said that he wasn't, which is our favorite thing, and that's a whole nother episode that we will be getting to this week. Donald Trump and his ties to white supremacy. Again, not saying all militias are white hate groups, but they seem to have issues if you're black, because racism, hi, we missed you. During Obama's time, this is the crap they came up with. They constantly came up with all this stuff. Now, here's the thing. If you ask any of these militia people, they'll openly admit that to every conspiracy, they believe it all. Put the tinfoil on your hat. They're the people running around right now. They believe that Vice President-elect Kamala Harris isn't even an American, even though she was born in Oakland. These are the same people who are posting on posts on our very show, stop me if you've heard this before, that they didn't know black people were from Jamaica too. I can't make this stuff up, but they will never claim to be racist at all. No, no, no. They will go get the most vulgar, veteran t-shirt brand they can get, rocking their grunt style and Black Rifle Coffee and 9-line with great people who take pictures with their children with guns, because nothing says America like teaching your kids how to hold a firearm and kill others. These are what these people chase after because they want it. And they're dangerous. And at the end of the day, this is the problem. These people aren't here to protect us because, again, if you want to dress up in tactical gear, run around with your friends, shoot things, you can actually go do cool something, like enlist in the military. You can go do that. They give you uniforms, brand new weapons that you put away every day. They give you friends, they feed you, and health insurance. That way you're actually making a difference and not just hanging out with your friends planning on what crosses to burn and who to go kill. Because this is what happens. If you're really looking to hang out with people, militia friends, Uber's always hiring, and you can always help get your stars higher rating. Drive. You meet people, you could talk to them, and probably share your crazy conspiracy theories. It might hurt your star rating, but shit, sounds like you need it. And that's the problem with these militias at the end of the day, is that they're all lonely. They're all lonely, desperate for friends, and they are super small-minded. They can't seek change. They don't like change. Change scares them. That's why these people all hop in the same boat together. These militias have no problem seeking out and wanting to kidnap a governor and end her life because they don't agree with her politics. Instead of running for office or supporting somebody who could remove her from office, they felt in their little brain housing groups that this was the way to do it, was to remove somebody from office and kill them. There's a lot of things we could do, but this is still America, and these militias, these are all wannabe. These aren't militias. The fact that they say they're militias, no, a militia is the National Guard. And that's what we need to deal with. So that's what I wanted to cover today on To The Point, was breaking down how militias work, because there's so many ways that these militias go. And it's crazy, but fact of the matter is militias were started at the very beginning of time. Militias have been part of our history since day one. George Washington started here in the English. We built them for tyranny, folks. They're not here to be religious hate groups or whatever the hell you want to call them. But right now, they're just hate groups. If they want to be organized, join the National Guard. If not, you're just a hate group, and it's scary because they're very well armed. They're not very organized. But they have access to some crazy firearms, and their beliefs are nuts. That's all we have for you today on To The Point. Make sure you tune in for other episodes that are coming up. We'll be talking about Donald Trump and his ties to white supremacists, and also, what is a faithless elector? All that and more coming up on To The Point. Check out the episodes. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and share our episodes with your friends. As always, I'm Eric Mitchell. Be safe, be strong, be smart. And God bless America.